Alright, another day of the flu, another day for bossing, and today's subject is classic Maple. So it's on everyone's mind, the main focus of MapleCon, so it's important. So we have to talk about it. Who better to talk about it than a person that has played Maple probably longer than some people playing the game. Like this account that I have right here is like 20 years old. There's a chance that this account is older than some people playing the game, which is pretty wild to think about. But that's the big subject right now. For some reason, well, I guess it's understandable that not many people are excited for it. My thoughts on it are that I was really skeptical at first, but as I learned more about it, I think the team can do it. From what I've seen, like Inkwell and his thoughts on it, more and more confident that this will be fine. I've been sick for so long. I'm more confident that it'll be fine, and I'm more excited about it than ever. I'm really excited. So the main friction point is that people that it's attracting haven't played Modern Maple. And then the people who play Modern Maple have a different idea of what MapleStory should be. I want to talk about what is the disconnect here. I mean, I was one of those people that said if you want to play old school Maple, it's like you're crazy, you're rose tinted glasses, you missed the, your childhood, not the game. But when I played R-Tail, which was a remake of old school MapleStory, I was really impressed with how the gameplay held up. Like, surprisingly, the gameplay held up. Oh, whoops. Oh my god, that's so bad. I was impressed with how the gameplay held up. And it gave me more insight to how old school Maple can really work side by side with modern Maple. I want to talk about what makes old school Maple compelling. Let's say I think right off the bat, I think we have to, if you're looking at modern old school Maple from the perspective of a modern Mapler, you have to try not to look at it as a deconstruction of the Maple that you do know, and you have to look at it as a entity on its own. As if it's a completely different game. Like what you're playing right now on the screen with my Lynn, trying to kill this Dark Knell. It is the culmination of 20 years of development and iterations across decades. And the gameplay that old school Maple has is a relic of the past that is almost like a time capsule. It's like a time capsule of what it was like. It's the same engine, right? That's the craziest part. It's the same engine, but it's so different. It's just that the design and the scope of oh shit, I gotta take that. The design and the scope of the game obviously changes over time. Like Big Bang changed the scope of the game, of what you are allowed to do. So it's like, alright, I'm just gonna burst this guy. Please don't. Oh my god. Problem with Dark Knell is that if you don't bind him before he attacks, then you have to deal with the elites as they come out. Okay. From what I understand, you use the origin as soon as Penny's done bursting. So where was I? The scope of okay. Let's go back a little bit. If you're a modern Mapler, you have to look at this game as a separate game. You cannot look at it as a deconstruction of what you currently know. That is the most contentious point that I always see. I always see people who complain about old school MapleStory. Is that they look at everything from the lens of what they can do now, and it's just the fact that old school MapleStory, only one class had flash jump. Just one class. It was just one class, and it was Hermit. It was the Night Lord, basically. So if you knowing that, you have to understand why Hermit has that skill in the first place, and what everyone else has in context. Because if you look at the game, archers, they don't have a flash jump. Warriors didn't have flash jump, obviously. Shadowers didn't, like Chief Bandits and Bandits also did not have flash jump. They had no mobility other than like Assaulter, right? Assaulter was their fake like dash mobility that needed a target. I'm gonna wait until this is over. There we go. Very good. Go, Penny, go. So the only classes with mobility were mages, teleport, which surprisingly, teleport is like close to like a 1-to-1, like it's like 1-to-1 with Modern Maple. It's like it hasn't changed, other than obviously you can like cast it in the air. So it's crazy. If you play old school Maple, like teleport almost feels like the same, other than the fact that it's way shorter and you can't cast it in the air. If you're a modern mage, you might actually like old school mages. But those are the only classes with mobility. And as a result, the scope of the game, unlike the maps, for example, accommodate the ability of the average player, which is like maybe like 120 speed. So if you look at this, we have like 160 speed. Like base speed was like 100. The base speed was 100, and that's so slow. Like 100 speed is so slow. And the only way to get speed were to scroll shoes. Or get like an Icarus cape. Or be a thief with haste. Like that was your mobility. So like understanding like that everyone is limited, the gameplay also slows down. Like the maps are limited, and also the gameplay slows down because you don't have this mobility of like, you know, like this like mobility that you do in Modern Maple. There's just, at best you have a jump, like, and maybe your class can jump cast it. That's it. So a lot of the gameplay is like very I would say deliberate. It's very small, deliberate micro spacing that you go through with. If you've ever played a fighting game, you have this concept of footsies where you're kind of bobbing and weaving and trying to bait and like punish like bad advances, like with punishing. And in old school Maple, the gameplay was just slow enough where you really only have like jump and like this amount of movement, and it's really about controlling the space, like your immediate space, like this, and engaging with whatever you're trying to kill, like a monster, because the monster is also they're like, the monsters are completely different in old school MapleStory, where they can actually like put some hurt on you. They can actually, you know, hurt you. In this game, monsters are just there as like balloons that you pop for miso and, you know, and frags. They're just essentially balloons that don't really matter. Their attacks don't matter either. Like, isn't it strange that all the mobs do like 1 damage to you? But in old school Maple, they actually, like, you were at risk when you fight these things. You were at risk of dying to these things. It was very dangerous to engage monsters. And so you needed, oh shit, you needed a lot of tools to deal with them. Like every class had their own ways of dealing with monsters because they actually hurt you. They can straight up one-shot you. Like they're like, some monsters just have the ability to just one-shot you if you don't have enough defense. Like having enough HP, like a max HP to even tank something is like important. It's like it just bars you from actually even engage, like considering fighting the monster. Like some monsters are actually just off limits to some classes because they can't tank even a single hit, right? Not even a single hit can they take. So it's just off limits to them. And that's the sort of like danger you deal with in old school MapleStory that you don't deal with in Modern Maple. In Modern Maple, they're just balloons that pop and, you know, give you free money. It's a different sort of gameplay. Because you don't really have the movement options that you may be used to, like my Modern MapleStory, like going up like this, or even a rope lift, like, or an up jump. Even an up jump is not something that you had in old school Maple. You'll find that you really do have to engage monsters at a very at a footsies level. You're really engaging like small scale engagements. Like you're fighting like maybe 1, 2, 3 mobs at a time and trying to deal with them. I don't have enough time for this roar. I don't. I'm just gonna. I wonder how much time I had Penny. The roar is not gonna last. Oh well, Awakening will. That's fine. Let's go. Let's do an example like the maps. Like the maps in. Because your mobility is not that high in Classic Maple, the maps will seem very large. Like, they seem huge. Because you have to traverse, you have to walk, basically. You have to walk. But in Modern Maple, you have, like, classes that can... you have classes that can literally fly. They have super jumps, they have dashes. Like, you have Lynn who could just do all these, like, crazy acrobatics, like what I'm just doing right now. It's like, if you have a class that can do that, like in Modern Maple, if you have the ability to do that, then the maps have to accommodate you being able to do that as well. And so the maps are just obscene, like they're crazy. Like if you go to like a modern like hunting map, I don't think a classic Mapler like character can even traverse it in some cases. It's like too much of a trek. Like there's just too much mobility because they don't have flash jump or an up jump or a rope lift or anything like that. The maps, it's like a hunting map will need to be like Monster Park Extreme size, right? To really understand the scale and like the limitations of old school Maple. It's like as if like a modern map is like that big, right? If you were to go to a random map, it'll be as big as Monster Park Extreme, where it's literally a huge arena with a bunch of monsters in it. That's the type of map that would need to be in Modern Maple to understand the scope of what old school Maple was. Still have coughs after over a week. All right, so let's talk about. I talked about the gameplay. I think the gameplay of old school Maple is more... It's simple. Oh no, I need to turn off DMs. Well, I want to like go over like what makes old school Maple good, because I feel like I'm I feel like I'm some kind of salesman, like trying to convince like, no, this is dude, this is like the best thing ever. It's so much better than old school or modern Maple. Like I kind of want to show like what are the charms of old Maple. One of the coolest things when I played like Artale, like I mean I played old school Maple like private service and stuff like that back in the day, but like my most recent like experience with old school Maple is like Artale, and the gameplay that I really liked was that it was every little thing, every precious thing. Coincidentally, that's a very good, the name of the next patch, it's actually very descriptive of old school Maple. Where every little micro improvement in your character is like so much. It goes so far. Like, getting like one stat on your character is like a huge amount of damage. Like, going from like a 5 luck hat or something, and getting a 6 luck hat from like being above average is like feels like you're doing so much more with so little. It's very funny. Getting like 2 attack, because you can only get attack from your weapon and your gloves. So like getting any attack is crazy, and getting any attack from like any source is crazy. So like going from like an 8 attack glove to a 10 attack glove is so much more damage. So you have like that's this sense of scale that you're dealing with. Over here we have like all these, right? We have so much like stats. Like I don't even think that IED existed back then, I'm not sure. But you have so many different stats and things to, you know, keep track of. Not every class even had crit. It was a much simpler time where you can, like when Inkwell said that it's Modern Maple has a lot to learn and it might be too much for like a new player. Oh, like just like look at these numbers. Like it's like I'm doing like 14 billion damage. Like think about that number that I'm doing. Like that Penny's doing, the bird. Like she's doing 14 billion lines. Billion lines. Not a million, not 10, not 20, like 100 million. Not 1 billion, 14 billion, right? That's so much damage. Like that's like 1 billion green snails. Like you have like the damage of one of those lions is enough to like eradicate like billions of green snails. Like that's how much damage we're seeing, but it's like notice how it's all squished. Like all the like we have to play with like these numbers squished. Like if you use like a normal damage skin, it's like you won't understand what you're actually doing. So we have to squish it down to like readable numbers, like 20 bill, right? 20 bill. We can only understand like 3 at a time. I'm gonna just bind her right here. Like all these numbers have to be squished down to 3 digits, because if you didn't, it'd be like spanning across the entire screen, and it just becomes like a jumbled mess. It just becomes like particle effects that mean nothing. It conveys no information. But in old school MapleStory had only 3 numbers at some time. Like your character will literally only do like 100 damage. So it didn't have this problem of so much like the scaling problem with how high the numbers get. With it, like you had like an identity with the old school Maples classes. Since the skills are so much simpler, you have like you have simple classes. Like say the warrior. What is the identity of a warrior? It's to run up and like smack things with power strike and slash blast, right? And in the case of like some like a hero, you actually use power strike and slash blast until like 4th job, right? It's actually like your bread and butter skill, like all the way. Like what is the most compelling thing about a warrior? I think most warriors will tell you is seeing the big numbers, right? The big number, like getting your first 4-digit damage number from a power strike is like the milestone that like most warriors like remember, right? It's like something that makes them happy, seeing those giant numbers, right? It's not little baby numbers adding like pitter-pattering on the mob. It's like it's like a giant number that everyone gets to see, right? And that's the thing about old school MapleStory is that everyone sees your damage. And all those numbers convey a story to like it conveys a story to like everyone around you. That like, oh wow, that guy did 1,000 damage in 1 hit. Like you don't really see other people's damage in Modern Maple because there's too many. You're like outputting thousands of lines. Like Origins do like thousands of lines. It's you can't track it, and who cares? Like no one really cares. Like look at all these numbers bleeding together. Like I see 15 bills bleeding with the 9 bills, bleeding with like the 100 mils. Like it's bleeding all together. It doesn't really mean anything. There's nothing. There's no useful information to convey, even if other people could see your numbers, right? But in old school Maple, you saw everyone's number, and that's how you showed off. That's how you see. That's how you gauge. You don't need to like check. Oh, I lost a life. You don't need to gear check someone to see how strong they are. You can just look at them in like mobbing, right? You'll understand immediately the power level that you're dealing with. That's like the beauty of old school Maple. That's the beauty of having just simple lines. Like it's not this like vomit of like lines that you see on the screen. Just seeing one number just convey everything. Tells the entire story. So when you're a warrior, you have big numbers that come very infrequently, right? Just like it's just very slow and steady, giant numbers. And another thing is like some mobs had a knockback limit where you needed to do enough damage to even knock them back. Otherwise, they could just run unimpeded. They don't get stunned. They don't, some classes don't even have enough damage to, like, an instance of damage high enough to even, like, push monsters around. They just get run over, right? But like warriors, they didn't really have to deal with that. They could knock back bosses, like even bosses, like big bosses that have like insane. Oh man, please don't. Okay, there you go. Like they had enough damage in a single instance to knock back bosses, which is like so cool. And that was like the identity of the warrior. So like, what about other classes? You have like the archers, and like knight lords. They had red numbers. Like that's isn't. It's like you look at some random like archer shooting like a mob, and you see red numbers, and you're a warrior. Like, whoa, what's that? Like, why are his numbers red? Like, what does that mean? And it's because they have crit. And that's like the identity of the archer, is to just see red numbers is like, whoa, what the heck? It's like, I didn't know there's red numbers. Like, oh shit, please. Oh well, rip. There goes all my lives. It's okay. You only need 2. So like the concept of just having red numbers is crazy. Another thing is like a line story. If you're a mage or you're an archer, you had double shot. A corsair, you had double shot. Some kind of double shot. You had lucky 7s as like a hermit or like a assassin, I should say. So it's like you had like double shot. But you know what class had more than just 2? Just more than 2 numbers, and it was like the coolest thing ever. It was like the reason everyone made them. It was chief bandits. It was bandits, I should say. Bandits and their savage blow. You see 6 numbers. Like they just run up to a mob and you just see like 6 numbers going crazy. It's just towering over this thing, right? Over their mobs, and they just die. They get one-shotted. They're like, whoa, look at those numbers just piling up on top of that thing. There's 6 whole numbers. And it's like, oh shit. Like that was just like a mind-blowing thing back in the day. And you bet that like when you see some chief, like some guy with a dark pilfer and like a I don't know, like Pandayo or Shinkita, and they're just running up to a kitty or something, and you see the 6 numbers go like machine gunning on like those like kitties, and you're like, whoa. Like you suddenly you don't want to main your class anymore. You want to see that cool. You want to machine gun down like. You want to do like a multi-stab like attack. All you saw was just some guy hitting a mob, right? All was conveyed just from the numbers, just from the style of the numbers. Just seeing the numbers just like that is enough to convey that story. Is to tell that story of that class and what it's about. Now we get to Modern MapleStory. Like, look at this. Like, I'm not even trying. Look at all these numbers just vomiting up, and like the numbers are all red. They're all crits. Everyone has 100% crit, so there's no like identity of having like crit rate. Everyone crits. Everyone's 100% crit, and it's like everyone has huge damage. Everyone can hit the cap. There's no difference. There's no identity between 2 different classes, and we don't even see each other's numbers anymore because it's too. It's basically pointless to convey. Like they could show numbers. But it's not useful. It doesn't really matter because you're not really seeing anything useful in the Modern Maple. There's nothing to really like parse. Like if I saw my partner and like let's say Will, and I saw them attacking and saw their numbers, I would actually get annoyed because I don't really want to see the numbers. I want to see my numbers. That's just the type of game that you play in Modern Maple. You lose that identity. That was just so prevalent in the old school Maple that I kind of miss. I kind of miss that old feel where every class had like that identity and that playstyle and limitation. Like that's a big thing, is that classes back then had limitations, and it was fine. Like warriors were so bad, but warriors were just mostly okay with just being like the punching bags of the game, where they're just like almost like you have to be like in love with the class in order to do like actually be good. If you weren't like a bishop or a sin, it's like you just had to like deal with your class limitations. But in Modern Maple, every class is basically the same. They all perform basically within margin of each other, with some outstanding like exceptions, let's say. Like, it's not that crazy. Like, we don't have one class doing double, at least in KMS. I don't know about here, but we don't have classes in KMS that do double the damage of the top class. They're mostly within margin. I think I'm getting sicker. I'm not even getting better. So sad. So that's just like something I miss that Modern Maple kind of discarded. Like, it had to. Like I said, it's not like showing me my boss party's damage numbers. It doesn't help me. It's not useful, and it actually annoys me. So it's more like the design of the scope of the design, like seeing all these numbers. Like if I do like this, like if I do this BA, and I look at it, it's like, look how many times, like how many attacks there are. Just so many like lines and all these numbers, like getting into the billions, where it's like it's not useful to me. It's not useful. Like the design has gone so far where that like old school identity is gone. You can't replicate it anymore because everyone can do everything. There's no one really has weaknesses in this game. And it's as funny as it is, Changsep did like make all the classes kind of the same. They kind of got rid of the pain points and made them all very similar. AKA, they all turn into bowmasters. But that's just how it is. That's Modern Maple. People want to be bowmasters. Like, Lynn is like so popular. I should say Ren is so popular in KMS. It's so simple. It's such a simple to play class, and and obviously that kind of class is very popular and very easy to get into. And having any sort of friction, like imagine like a new player playing a warrior in classic Maple. Just being like having to run up to every mob and getting pushed around in the first job and having to use like slash blast, and oh god, it's actually so hard, like thinking about it. And then if you look at like today's Maple, it's like everyone has a flash jump, everyone can mob, everyone has everything. It's mostly like if you like it, like the look of it, more than anything. I could be bursting, but whatever. I'm just autopiloting and talking about, like, gushing about old Maple. Yeah. So like one interview that I really thought was interesting. I forgot the name of the YouTuber. That's so mean. I'm actually gonna look him up right now. It's actually I should actually look him up because he made a very good. He had a very good interview with Inkwell. What's his name? Oh no! Wait, I could just search for Classic Maple. Classic Maple. What's this guy's name? It's not Copper Sand, even though Copper Sand is the goat. It's Dino Fries. Yeah, Dino Fries. He did like an interview with Inkwell, and I thought it was so interesting what he said, what Inkwell said. Like one of the things that he brought up. Imagine if Big Bang didn't happen. Like that's the type of game that they're going for, where it's like an alternate reality of the game. It's almost like an isekai. Like if you read like one of those like dime a dozen like light novel stories where you go back in the past and you change something. Like I'm gonna work out and do well in school and ask that girl out and make my like life better or whatever. It's like almost like this is like that, but for Maple. It's like you have these OG Wizard devs that they're just thinking of this like possibility of like it's different now. Like we have the ability to just finish what we started almost. It's like almost like that mentality. Like we have to finish what we started. Because I would imagine that they had a specific vision of how MapleStory should have gone, but for whatever reason it didn't, right? Like whatever like workplace politics or design or director at the time and what they wanted and what the team wanted and how they saw Maple. It's like this is like their opportunity to do it. It's like almost like a second chance for them. And I would love to interview like I'm guessing it's Nemi, who's the brainchild of this, and Inkwell, obviously. Like, I want to know what they like. I mean, probably they're not going to talk about like workplace politics back in the day, but like I would love to like see like learn more about what they envision like old Maples to be, like old MapleStory. It's so crazy to think about. Oh, thank you, Will, just giving me poison right away. Like they get to choose the destiny of what the game is, and it's so crazy. And I love that they said like, oh shit. I didn't have Will. That sucks. I did have Will. It just didn't go off. What a joke. I got robbed before I was rudely interrupted. Yeah. It's like they can choose whatever they want to do. So it's like it's so crazy to think about like the possibilities of what they want. They basically said that like if whatever the players want, we're gonna add it. Like if they want Ludi, they'll add Ludi. But they're not gonna add Ludi if they didn't want to add Ludi. Which is like it's crazy to think about. Like they can choose what they want to do. And like you could think about it in different contexts. Like the most like glaring thing and the most contentious thing is the Dragon Knight, right? Like class balance is like they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they think was what they should have done, right? Like we've already seen it like some of the like their decisions, like making like the fire arrow do 3 hits instead, like it shoots 3 fire arrows. It's like we already see like that part of it, but it's like they could do more than that, right? Because obviously like classes they change over time. It's not like if we take Shadower is not old school Chief Bandit. It's not. It's inspired by it. Like they kind of borrow like the themes. They borrow the themes of Shadow, like old Chief Bandit, but it's not like they have Band of Thieves. Like they don't have like the mobbing skill that wills your bandit team into existence, and like they do like a swipe. They don't have. I mean, they have something that's inspired by Salter. They don't have the miso explosion where you drop all the money on the floor. It's like it's a different class. It should be because it's way later. Like the design, the design of the class has to change with the environment at the time. But if you wanted to play old Chief Bandit, you really can't. Holy, what the heck? We had the guild thing. So you think about it, like, yeah, you could play quote unquote Chief Bandit, but you know what class you can't play? It's Dragon Knight. You can't play old school Dragon Knight in Modern Maple because it's gone. There is no Dragon Knight in Modern Maple. So if you think about it, Inkwell and his team could make the Dragon Knight. Obviously, they'll release that class. Like they have the opportunity to just go all the way with the Dragon Knight, right? They don't need to stop and make a Dark Knight afterwards. They can choose whatever they want. They can make Dragon Knight the actual class. And if you think about it like that, it's like what else do they think about the other classes? We have the Corsair, the old school Corsair that's on the ship. That is not what current Corsair is. You don't fight from a ship. You summon the ship that shoots. So it's like we can see where they would love to, they could choose whatever they want to do with their classes now, and that is exciting. Like in the context of like Inkwell's statement, like we're gonna do whatever we want to do, right? Of like they're not gonna add stuff that just because it was in Modern Maple. Like that's the key takeaway. They're not just gonna add it just because. They're gonna add it because it's something they want to do. And if you do that in the context of like game balance, right? They could do anything. They could make the Dragon Knight the 4th job. Like if we ever get to that point of 4th job, that could be like where it's headed. Like a completely different. That's what makes this exciting. It's not just a 1-to-1 of classic Maple, because you could just play that right now. You could just play Artail or something, or like Maple Land if you're in Korea. Like it's not really that hard to make modern like one-to-one Maple. So it's exciting to me that they actually have a vision of the old with the old devs. You have a vision of what like unfinished business it feels like that isekai. Like I'm gonna do things right now. Like imagining like in like the ultra long term, like let's say like 5 years from now. Like what would classic Maple look like 5 years from now? Like that, I actually don't know. I'm actually not sure what it will look like in 5 years. Like it's active. It's being actively developed. That's the thing. It's not like there's. This is like okay. That's another point we have to. That's another point we have to go over. With is that we have a development team for this. It's not like we're porting over like Korean MapleStory Classic World or something like that. It's being done by the GMS team. It's so strange to think that like the showrunners of Classic Maple made by Nexon is GMS. Like what the fuck? What? That's just wild. This dingy old like Western like branch of Maple is the face of Classic MapleStory by Nexon, right? Nexon themselves. It's not like Maple Land and some devs. It's literally Nexon themselves that are doing this. It's so crazy. And that's the exciting part because like if you think about it, they're the ones developing it. They've already shown off like a new area. So what else? What can we really expect? I want to know what they'll do in 5 years, because we're gonna get Classic Maple in like a couple months, hopefully. Hold on, I need. Oh no, my mic was off. Oh man, I don't know what I don't know what I didn't say. Ruined. This video is ruined. Oh, that's so bad. I just yap for who knows how long. Oh shit, that's so annoying. Yeah, I mean, I hope I didn't mute for that long. What was I even talking about before this? I really hope I didn't mute like more than like a bunch. Well, I really wanted that discussion to go through. I blame my sickness because I muted the mic to like mute a cough, but I wasn't able to. Wow, that's crazy. I'm actually so mad that it muted. Well, I'll probably cut up the video. Cause I don't wanna. I really want more of the discussion to come through rather than the gameplay. I'd rather sacrifice the gameplay than the talking. Man, I can't really go back and check when I muted, so it's hard to say if I'm talking about the same stuff. You talked about class balance. What a downer. I noticed my mic was muted and I just like felt so sad. I can't. All that discussion I had is gone now. I mean, I might just like stop the video there and not finish it because of how everything is just gone. So sad. I really hope we talked about the monetization, because the monetization is the most important part of old school MapleStory. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I was talking about old school balance and how warriors will just get shafted. They're just like the lengths that like servers go through and like Rtail and stuff go through to make warriors even good is just so funny to me. Just how bad they were. I don't know what they did in classic Maple demo to like make them good, but I really hope they do them a solid. And I hope I'm an old school Paladin player. I really hope they make Paladin good. Because I really hope they make Paladin good. I mean, I think we covered it, but like old school White Knight, like it lost its charge every time it used Charge Blow, which is stupid. It's stupid. Like, why would you ever do that? And then when Paladin came around, they had Advanced Charge Blow, which kept your charge every time you used it, which is nice. They had the Holy Charge. Like eventually the Lightning, I think it was eventually, but the Lightning Charge stacked and just gave you like an FD buff. So you had like double charge. You had Lightning Charge and then another charge on top of it, which was like usually Holy Charge. And then eventually Paladins, like the charges themselves became attacks. which is very strange. They used to be buffs for like Power Strike or something, but now or Charge Blow. Then now they became attacks themselves. Like you don't really use them to buff; you just use them to attack. Is very jarring. It's very weird. And then eventually they just lost the charges. It's like it's not even a thing anymore. They don't have Charge Blow anymore. It's just, I mean, they had Divine Charge, which is, that's it, I guess. That's Modern Paladin, where they just have Divine Charge. A very strange class. Like the old school, like, White Knight class. I hope we talked about the Dragon Knight and how important that class is to old school MapleStory. I would love to see them go all the way with... I would love to see them go all the way with, like, going further with that class. Like, making that class, like, 4th job Dragon Knight. Ooh, like a Dragoon or something. Or Dragon Rider or something. The possibilities are endless. So I'm hopeful for Classic Maple. I know that a lot of people are not going to be. They're going to just be playing Modern Maple. But I really hope that the gameplay that I saw, that I valued when I played Classic Maple, I really hope that it is felt by the people that will try it out eventually. Of what makes old school Maple, like, what made it so appealing. And it's not just because it was like nostalgic goggles, but the gameplay itself and the scope and the design of old school Maple is a completely different game. Just to understand that it's completely different, and the scope is different, and the gameplay is different, and the feeling of the feeling of playing it is different, and the goals of old school Maple and modern Maple are completely different as well. Oh man, I'm sad that I have to cut that muted section out because I don't know how much. I don't know how many. I don't know how long I was muted for, but I hope most of it went through. The unfortunate thing about my mules is that these characters are not libbed yet, so they're gonna take more than an hour, and I just run out of things to talk about. And if it goes beyond an hour, it's so much easier to just do bosses on like other characters. We have to figure out what do we talk about next. From what I've seen on streams, it seems that service is getting to be a problem. Like even more than I even envisioned. Like it seems it's being more casually brought up. Like the idea of service. I know this is not within the scope of Classic Maple. It's more like a current event right now. The idea of service. I guess we can tie it to Classic Maple. Old Maple was so grindy. That's the one problem with the old school Maple. I knew we can tie it back. Like, it was so grindy. Playing Artail was so fun because they, it's like they squished the levels, right? Made the early levels really quick, and then they eventually made the later levels, like, very, slow. Like, 1x. So it was, like, metered. And that helped a lot. Enjoying, getting to quickly enjoy, like a class, like getting them up to par immediately so that you can just actually just start playing. I actually wonder how they're gonna handle EXP. Oh man, will there be 2x coupons? Will there be 2x events? Will there be party quests with unlimited instances? Like, there's so many questions because old school Maple is so grindy. Payday 5.2. Okay, I think that will be it.